Coming up on Preferred Lies, is Annika ready? What the LPGA star is saying about her return to the court. And Annika will be playing at St. Andrews this week, where women are allowed in the clubhouse for the first time. But is the golf course ready? Then Gary Player says he knows players on drugs. Why has the PGA Tour been dragging its feet on mandatory testing? And how much Tiger will we see during the FedEx Cup stretch? All that and more just ahead. Welcome to Preferred Lies. I'm Jay Coffin, joined this week by the editor of Golfweek, Dave Senior, and Golfweek senior writer Rex Hoggard. Well, it's ladies first on Preferred Lies this week. The Women's British Open is at St. Andrews in Scotland this week. Obviously, big news. It's at the old course, playing the golf course for the first time. They're allowed in the clubhouse.
The old great tune.
That's right. And before Annika Sorenstam headed over to Europe last week, our Lance Ringler had a chance to catch up with her. Here's what she had to say about the state of her game.
Well, I'm happy to be back in competition mode. You know, I've had the chance to play 3 tournaments, official LPGA events. I still think my game is a little rusty. You know, I'm not 100% yet from my injury, but I'm healing very well. I've had, some great results going back to the doctor just last week with an MRI that was very, very positive. So right now it's important for me to, continue to work out, get the strength back, and then also start picking up my practice regime a little bit. It's, I've not been able to hit as many balls as I like and as I need, so I'm looking forward to that. But, like I said, I'm not there yet, but hopefully within a month or so.
Well, there, Rex, Annika says obviously she's not 100%, but she played well at the Evian Masters in France last week. She's somebody that always has a chance, doesn't she? Thinks her way around.
I'll take 90% of Annika over 100% of most players. I mean, let's look at it that way. I mean, she's such a good ball striker. She can control a golf ball, which you and I just talked about. And, I think the biggest thing on links golf that we saw a couple weeks ago at Carnoustie is it sort of pairs down the field. It sort of equalizes it for the guys that maybe aren't all that good at putters. And let's face it, she's had problems with her putter in the past. So, yeah, I would have to put her in the mix.
It's the old course. It's going to befuddle a lot of these girls. There's no two ways about it.
Befuddle.
We checked the weather report, and it's just calling for, light rain most of the days, but you don't know what you're going to get there. These weather reports, they come with qualifiers anyhow.
Scottish weathermen use dart boards and wheezy boards. They don't, you could say, it's going to rain.
I was there a couple of weeks ago and had the good fortune to play the old course early in the morning. 45-mile-an-hour wind, sideways rain. It's crazy. I don't know whether they'll get anything like that. It's been so nutty over in that part of the world this year. But, there's so much nuance to that golf course. And people either love it or hate it. Right. And it's going to challenge these women, no question about it.
How big of a deal is this? I mean, they're allowed in the clubhouse. They're allowed, the women are allowed
I think it's a
run
huge
of the place, which they haven't typically been allowed to play the golf course, but not necessarily in the clubhouse. Is this a big deal?
Oh, I think it's a huge deal. Absolutely, it's the home of golf. I mean, we look forward to this every year, 5 years for the British Open. No, I think it's a very big deal, and I think there's going to be a little pushback because, as you were saying, they didn't close off play until the very end. But
there was that's an interesting thing that's going on.
Not exactly the same treatment.
Yeah, they're not getting equal treatment in that when the men's Open is there, the course is shut down 2-3 weeks beforehand. People play off of mats for months beforehand. They want to keep the thing perfect. Here, they've had public play up until this week. I mean, there's divots all over the place and stuff. They've had a controversy about the people that they hire to repair the divots. They used to have locals, and they fired them, and they've brought in some people from Central Europe who supposedly don't know what they're doing, at least according to the locals I talked to there. So they're gonna run into some rubs of the green that they typically aren't going to see.
So it's a big deal that they're allowed to play there, but it's still not exactly.
Well, it's a cool
they still
factor.
Got a little bit right.
It's a cool factor that they can get in the clubhouse. You can, women can play St. Andrews. There's women's clubs. There's always been women's clubs there. There's no discrimination as far as the golf course goes. It's a public course for anybody.
Right.
That's
but let's look at it. When you start talking about great golf courses in Scotland, no one says the old course is a great course. Everyone says it's all about the ambiance. So, I think you're going to lose something if you start.
Well, it depends. I think aficionados are going to say, you learn something every time you play there. There's just so much nuance about the thing. And again, it's all weather. You can have a perfect day. Geez, when Tiger won there in 2000, never hit a bunker. I don't think there's going to be anybody this week who doesn't go around that course and doesn't hit a bunker.
If you are out watching at the Women's British Open this week, make sure you keep an eye on Laura Davies because she says she's not going inside. She's going to change her shoes in the parking lot. She's going to eat her peanut butter and jelly out in the parking lot. So
the ugly American deal. Yeah, well, I've done that before a couple of times.
All right, that's it for page 1. Coming up on page 2, we're going to talk about drugs.